Congratulations, you just purchased your brand new 2023 INFINITI QX60. But what's next? In today's video, I'm gonna walk you through how to customize and set up your QX60 to your exact preferences. Join me inside. All right, so you're inside of your brand new 2023 INFINITI QX60. Typically, when I'm delivering one of these vehicles and setting up my preferences for my client, I like to start with the memory seats. The first thing you want to do with this is you want to make sure you create that user profile. So to do that, you want to make sure you select settings, which is right here. You're going to hit the right arrow, and then you're going to go to edit user. Once you select edit user, you're then going to want to go to user profiles. Okay? We're going to create a new user. I'm going to put my name in here. Okay. Hit OK. And for my icon, I'm going to select, let's see, let's select the cool cat here with the sunglasses. We got key number 1 now saved to this user profile, okay? And we're going to hit save. So now what I have just done is I've just told the car that key number 1 belongs to Jarosky. So moving forward, anything that I save, whether it be a Bluetooth device, whether it be a radio preset, will now be set and stored in that profile versus key number 2, okay? So now what you want to do is we're going to go over this way with the camera. You'll see the memory seat connections here between 1 and 2. I'm going to fiddle with my seat a little bit. I'm going to raise it, recline it. On the left-hand side here, the camera might not be able to get it, but that's totally fine. I'm going to push this indicator for the left mirror, and then I'm going to use my cursor here to adjust it to where I'm comfortable. Now I'm going to do the right, same thing. Get that adjusted to where I want it. Now that I have that set, I am going to, on the door panel, tap set and then 1. So now this has synchronized this seat position with my profile. Now that you've done that, of course you're going to work your way over to the right. So we've covered this side of the vehicle and we've created a profile. I'm going to raise the steering column here, hoping that the camera might be able to catch it. I'm going to back up my seat a little bit. Now on the left panel here, you've got an icon that shows a steering wheel. This steering wheel represents the steering assist. So the steering assist on this vehicle is specifically for cruise control. You'll notice right there when you push it, it says steering assist off. And if I push it again, it's back on. So this is referencing when you have cruise control engaged and you've now set and designated a speed that you want this vehicle to maintain, as well as the distance between the car ahead of you. The vehicle will also steer and assist you to keep you centered within your lane to minimize driving efforts, okay? So that's what this does. Right here, this icon that shows the eye and the dotted lines heading towards the vehicle, that's your heads-up display, okay? So when I push this, the camera's not gonna be able to see it, but there is an actual display right ahead of me, and that display will show miles per hour. It'll show speed limit of the road that you're on. It'll also show any obstructions. Let's say if you begin to veer out of your lane, it'll warn you there in addition to the additional warnings that you have. And GPS turn and distance pops up there as well, okay? Right from here, you're also gonna have your adjustment for your tailgate. I'm gonna raise this again. So right there, if you push and hold this button, that raises the rear tailgate. So let's say you're driving and your spouse, significant other, is loading something into the vehicle. You're parked at Home Depot, for example, or at Walmart or Publix, wherever you shop, and you want to open that tailgate for them. You'll push and hold this button. Then when you want to close it, you'll do the same. You'll see the tailgate going down there. I'm going to lower this steering wheel, okay? Right now, we're going to be focused on this left stock, which is your lighting system, okay? As you adjust your lighting system, it tells you on the main display where you have it designated. okay? I like to keep my lights on auto. So by keeping the lights on auto, your high beams, low beams, daytime running lights automatically come on as needed. This is a Sensory 2023 QX60, so you do have adaptive headlights. If you're turning left, your lights will turn left with you. Same thing for turning right. You also have auto leveling as well for the lights, okay? Your turn signals are here. That is not changed, that's still in the same position. You'll see the indicators pop up on the screen. Right here, you will have your brightness adjustments. So this brightness adjustment here controls the view right ahead of you, how bright or how dim you actually want it, right? On the left side of the steering wheel, you've got your volume controls. So you can raise or lower the volume right from here. Now this volume is across the board for all your media sources. So let's say you're listening to the radio and you raise the volume. That will only raise the radio volume. So if you receive a call, the call is not going to come through extremely loud once the call comes in, because the call volume has been set and designated as well versus your navigation volume as well. What happens in some other vehicles is you receive a phone call and that person has bad signal. So you can't really hear it, and you turn the volume up as high as you possibly can get it. And then you get off that call and your radio just blows up in your face because it's all the way turned up to maximum volume. That won't happen in this vehicle. The car is smart enough to differentiate between audio, phone, and navigation volume and maintain it, okay? These two buttons here, the left and the right, those are for your views that you have available to you in the screen. The first thing that I like to do once I get here is now ask that client how they want these safety features to interact with them. So we're gonna hit the left button here, and we're gonna go right into where you see the card, okay? So when you see that card, it's a menu that you can actually select. So we're gonna go right to driver assistance, and we're gonna select it. You see steering assist is on. We're gonna go down to lane assist. Typically with clients, some people love this, some people hate it. If you don't use your turn signal every time as you change lanes, this can be annoying for you. So you can actually turn off the warning as well as the intervention also, if that's what you prefer. But what this tells the car is, I do not want the vehicle to pull me back into my lane if I veer out of it. If I am changing lanes without a signal, I don't need a warning or any type of correction. So you've totally disengaged those features. Some people like to have the warning on, but not the intervention. And some people like to have it the opposite direction. You can choose and set this car how you prefer it to be, okay? So that's your lane assist. Now, blind spot assist is the actual blind spot warning, which is on the side mirror. When you have a vehicle in your blind spot, that illuminates, and then all the speakers on that side of the vehicle chime to warn you, okay? The intervention is the actual act where the car applies brake force specifically on that side and then gently counter steers to pull you away from that collision. That's something that I myself in my QX60 have never disengaged. I love it. It's a big safety feature. But once again, it's one of those things where maybe you don't want the warning or maybe you don't want the intervention. Why? I'm not sure, but Infiniti gives you the option of keeping it on or turning it off. Okay? We're gonna go down to emergency assist now. This references your front and rear braking. So this has forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, okay? So if you're driving and a pedestrian darts in front of the car or the car ahead of you just jams on its brakes, this is sophisticated enough to bring you to a complete stop. Same thing with backing up. Backing out of your driveway, backing out of Publix, which is pretty common here in Naples. Backing out of Publix and someone has pushed their shopping cart, hoping that it goes into the little compartment where the carts go, and you don't see it and you're about to hit it. Or maybe a kid is running behind the vehicle. That rear automatic braking is on and engaged. Once again, you can choose to turn it off if you choose to. I'm not sure why you'd want to, but you can. Now back out. Here you'll see you've got speed limit sign, which I always keep on, speed adjust by route, parking aids, which I like to navigate to as well. So you've got your moving objects detection turned on, which you want. Auto show sonar sensor, which you want. Front and rear sonar sensors engaged as well. You can choose to turn those off. Once again, this is totally customizable to your preference. Sonar distance is something that I've changed for a few of my clients. So when you select this, you'll notice you have the option to make it long, medium, or short. Short, what that basically means is this is going to react much quicker when you're backing up or pulling forward into a space. It's not gonna give you a big gap. And then of course, long will be the exact opposite. So if you set it to long, it's gonna give you a big space. Excuse me, that's reversed. If you set it to long, it's gonna react actually quicker. And let's say you're backing up and this is set to long. When you get out of your car, after all the beeping, you're gonna notice, man, I've got a lot of space still left in this, okay? Versus short will do the exact opposite. So you can choose how it actually responds to you. I'm gonna cycle down here. You got sonar volume, which you can adjust as well, high, medium, or low. And that covers your parking aid section. Rear cross traffic alert. So that's exactly what that sounds like as you're backing up. If a car is coming from either side, you're gonna have the audible chime from that side, as well as the blind spot illuminator will go off as well. Okay. You cycle through your different options here, timer alert, low temp alert. You can adjust those as well to your preferences. Personal display is gonna be this screen here. You can choose to add additional displays or move things specifically to your cluster. Some people like to have the trip set there, fuel economy, time to distance, time to destination. If you have a navigation route, it'll show there. And some people just like to have their gear position, which is where I prefer mine. Okay. Heads up display. All right, so on the heads up display, I always set my brightness as high as possible because I want to make sure I can see it. You also can adjust the height of it to raise and lower it. You also can tilt it. Maybe your head's at a slight tilt. You can tilt it slightly to the right or to the left as well, wherever you're comfortable, all right? You can choose the content within it as well. So right now you'll see navigation, driving assist, speed limit sign, audio, as well as telematics and SMS, which is displayed there, okay? Eco mode settings, we don't typically dive that far into it. Most clients don't really care for that. Tire pressure monitor system is right there. You can choose to have it in PSI or any type of other preferred unit. I'm gonna back out here. Clock, if you need to change your time, you can do so right from this screen. Vehicle settings, when you select that. Lighting is something specifically light off delay that some of my clients do change. So in the light off delay, you'll notice that you have a couple different options, whether it be 0, which immediately lights go off, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, 60, 90. You can choose how long the lights remain on. So this would be in an instance, for example, let's say you have a long driveway and you park your car typically at the end of the driveway, or you park in a parking garage, and you want your path to stay lit as you're exiting the vehicle and walking away from it. So if you need a little bit more time, you can adjust this and set it to your preferences, okay? Locking the vehicle. This is something that we adjust as well pretty often. I have mine set to when I shift to park, all the doors unlock within the vehicle. Some people prefer it to be when the ignition is off. You can choose it however you prefer, okay? Wipers, you'll see rain sensing wipers are on. Reverse link is on as well. We're gonna cover that stock a little bit later on in the vehicle. Personal drive mode is where if you choose to actually put the vehicle in personal mode, you can choose how it responds as far as the acceleration, whether it be sporty, standard, or economic, and then the steering response as well. You can choose that and set it to your preferences. And once again, This will only adjust when you put the car in personal mode, okay? So that's gonna cover these two buttons right here and adjusting and setting them, okay? Also, you're gonna have right there, you're gonna have your home button, which is gonna be a digital compass and a couple other things like your current radio station that you're listening to. If it's XM, it'll showcase there as well. You go to the right here, you're gonna have your current MPGs, which is very easy to reset. You just press this, it goes to a different mode, and you press and hold it. And then you're gonna wanna select all items, okay? Then you're gonna go down to yes to confirm reset. Then you're gonna back out of this screen and you'll see everything has been changed. If you're someone that really likes to monitor the miles per gallon or your trips because maybe you get paid for the mileage you put in the vehicle while you're driving, then that's something that's really important to you. I've had several clients of other salesmen at my dealership that come in and they always ask me how to adjust this. So that's something that's really useful, okay? Now we're gonna hit the right arrow again. Tire pressure is gonna be in that screen that appears while you're driving, okay? Gonna go over to the right, you've got your digital compass. This is gonna be your audio screen. That's gonna showcase what current media source you're listening to. This is your safety shield, okay? So earlier on in the video, we went to the driver assistance tab and we selected certain safety features to engage and disengage. When you get into the vehicle and you push the blue button here, you'll now see that the blind spot assist as well as the actual intervention displayed, okay? But your lane assist is off because that is what we chose to set. So when you push this blue button here, you tell the car, hey, I give you the authority to now engage those certain safety features that I've given you the authority to correct me on, but do not engage the stuff that I did not want. So you want to make a habit of when you get into your vehicle, you push the start button and then you push your blue button here, okay? On the right side of the steering wheel, okay? Right here, you've got your cruise control. Very easy to set. You can actually choose your intervals as well, which you see here. So you've got 3 illuminated currently, which is telling the vehicle you want it to follow at a little bit of a further distance. You can go down to 2 or 1 as well. To set cruise, once you've reached the optimal cruise speed, you simply pull the stock down. That will set the cruise speed, which will display right there in that bottom right corner. If you choose to set cruise at 100 miles per hour, but the vehicle ahead of you is traveling at 85, your car will not meet that speed. It'll meet and maintain a safe speed to maintain the distance that you told it you want it to maintain versus the vehicle ahead of you traveling at 85 miles per hour, okay? To disengage cruise, you can simply tap cancel or apply the brake. If you'd like to resume at the last set cruise speed, you'll just flip this lever up. If you want to set a new cruise speed, once you reach that speed, you'll just pull the stock back down, okay? So I want to share this with you because this is really important. A lot of people look at this and don't know. So this little lever, you can use it 3 different ways. You can flip up, you can pull down, and you can press it into cancel. So keep that in mind, okay? This button here is going to be for your voice controls. I'm going to demonstrate that briefly.
Please say or select a command.
Audio.
Audio. Please say or select a command from the displayed list.
Tune SXM 54.
Tuning to SXM channel 54.
So now the car adjusts and switches to your radio station. Once again, I can raise the volume right from the steering wheel, okay? Definitely a celebration. Congratulations on your purchase of this vehicle. So very fitting soundtrack, okay? So some other things you can do with this voice control is you can use it for your navigation as well. If you prefer to use the car's navigation versus your Apple CarPlay. So you'll push this.
Please say or select a command.
Navigation.
Navigation. Please say or select a command from the displayed list.
Navigate to Costco.
Navigate to Costco.
And then
Please
your
say
destinations
select
pop
an item
up.
number from a displayed
I'm going to
list
select
or
the one that's closest to our
calculate
dealership
route or adjust
by touching the
location.
screen and then hitting
Calculating
calculate route. You can also deliver these commands by voice as well,
The route
but you'll
calculation
see
is complete.
just how
Proceed to the
smooth
nearest
and quick
road.
it was as well. Your route pops up there, and it goes to a split screen. So it'll still show your radio station there. If you want full access to the map, you'll just click on this icon here, and that will open it up to the full screen. It gives you all 12.3 inches of the display, okay? So we've now covered the steering wheel. We're gonna work our way towards the right stock, which is right here. All right, so we are on the right stock now. A couple things I want to point out. This does have rain sensing wipers. So as I adjust the lever, it shows you right there, one notch down, you're in auto. Be aware if you set your wipers to auto. Here's why. If you're someone that frequents car washes and you're driving through a car wash that has the brushes on them rather than a laser car wash or a car wash that has like the chamois things on there, you want to make sure you pay attention to that, because depending on how they have that set and how aggressive it is, you don't want your wipers going off without you being aware of that, and then them potentially being removed or yanked off of the actual mechanism there. So if you are going to set your wipers to auto, please make sure that you're aware of that and that you remember, so that way when you do go through that car wash, you just flip this lever up one notch to off, okay? Now, the end of this is where the rear wiper is, because you have rear wipers as well. So if you flip this lever, you can see that that turns on or off the rear wipers and goes to different speeds as well. So once again, to cover this, you've got your front wipers, which is pulling the stock, okay? Your different speeds and everything is right here. You can set it wherever you want, okay? Take regard if you do set it to auto and make sure you're alert, okay? And then the rear wiper is right here. All right, hopefully that helps you guys out. All right, so now we're gonna focus on this cluster. A lot of different things here, a lot of information. So right away, this is gonna be your volume. Still a little bit of plastic on this car. Has not been sold yet, okay? So this is gonna control your volume. So you'll see as your volume adjusts, it displays there as well, okay? This seek is going to be referencing if you have maybe your phone connected for, let's say, Apple iTunes, and you're listening to a certain album and you want to jump to the next track. You don't have to reach for your phone, you can just simply hit this, okay? Now this tune, and I'm going to pull up your audio here so we can see it. I just pushed the audio button down there. So when you hit tune, it brings up all of your different Sirius XM stations that you have. So I'm going to show you guys right now how to set a station. So I'm going to go to shade 45, okay? I've now selected shade 45, and I want to set and save that radio station. Look at the name of the track. And I'm going to push and hold slot number 1. You hear a slight chime, and now shade 45 has been set as my #1 favorite radio preference. Now remember, earlier in the video, we set a driver profile for me. So shade 45 for key #1 for user profile Jurowski will always default to shade 45 as my #1 radio preference, okay? So we're gonna do this again. We're gonna set a different station. Just gonna flip through something here, see if I can find the bridge real quickly. And where's the bridge? There it is. So I'm gonna tap on that, and I'm gonna hit this gray space to save it. Okay, so now that's set. So let's say you're driving and you want to cycle through your presets. You're currently listening to the bridge, right? But you want to listen to shade 45. But you have your navigation map up. How do you do that? What's the easiest way to do it? Bring the camera back over here to the steering wheel. So right here, left and right will actually cycle you through your presets. So if I push the right button, you'll see right ahead of me, it shows I'm now on preset number 3, which is Sirius XM hits. If I push left, it takes me to the bridge, which was my preset number 2. Now if I push left again, it takes me to number 1, which is Shade 45. So once you've set your radio presets, you can use this left and right to cycle you through them. All right? Right here, this sun and moon, that references the brightness of your displays here. So you can choose to adjust this brightness to your preference. The car automatically does it. So if the car senses it's dark out, it'll adjust to give you the best view of this screen. But if you prefer to do it on your own, you can just hit this as well, and then you can tune the brightness as well to your preference. All right? This is gonna be your hazard lights. You push this, all your turn signals and indicators, everything blink throughout the vehicle, and you'll get the warning here on the cluster as well. All right? This is gonna be your airbag warning. There's no weight on the passenger side seat right now, so it's letting you know that that airbag is off. All right? You've got your heated seats, which are right there. You push it, you get a little bit of haptic feedback, and you can push it again to go through your different settings. Cooled seats are right here. Same response, which is the haptic feedback. And then you've got your temperature controls here. You have driver and passenger temperature controls, as well as the rear, okay? Heated steering wheel is going to be right here. So if you push that, that'll engage it. It actually gets really warm. You're gonna have your front defroster, which is right there, and your rear. Ventilation modes are gonna pop up right there. So every time you hit mode, it cycles you through a different ventilation mode, which displays here. And you have access and control to that, of course, from where you're seated. Fan speed is right here. And you can hear the haptic feedback as you make a selection. Okay. Let's say you've got kids in the back seat, or maybe your dog, and you want to adjust the airflow back there. You already have the rear air conditioning on, and you're going to select rear control. Okay. And you'll notice that this now displays the rear and what the fan speed is currently set to. So you can push this to raise the fan speed and lower it, and then this dial, you can use it to adjust the temperature, and it tells you right there the temperature you're adjusting is for the rear specifically. All right, I'm gonna drop this down a little bit so we don't freeze the cameraman to death. Okay. If you want to lock the air conditioning, maybe your kids are back there and they're fidgeting with it, you just push this, and now they no longer have any control over it at all. Okay. And you can disengage it by doing the same thing. Or if they're really being bad and you want to make them suffer, just turn it off and let them just, burn back there. But I think you guys are nicer parents than that. Okay. All right, so airflow, you can do pulling fresh air from the outside. You can recirculate, which is right here, or you can clean the air within the cabin. Okay. This has a little bit of a different scent I've found when you do engage this. It kind of gives you that scent of like an ionizer that you get within the vehicle, but it just lets you know that it is on and working and cleaning the air within the cabin. So, we are now near the tail end of this video. Hopefully this has been helping you. If you had some questions, maybe some stuff that your salesman didn't review with you. Of course, on and off is right there to start the vehicle. Foot just has to be on the brake. Your drive mode lever is right here. So as you adjust it, your modes pop up. If the vehicle is so equipped, you do also have your snow mode, which is right there. All right. So your full control of your different drive modes that you have are right there. Engine shut off. To disengage the auto shut off of the engine, you'll simply push this, and then it tells you right there in your main screen that it has been turned off. Auto hold, which is a feature that I love when you arrive at a red light, or maybe you're at a stop sign. This will actually hold you in position so you don't have to keep that pressure on the actual brake pedal. There's your emergency brake. We never really use this in Florida too often because there's not too many hills that we park on. In this instance where we are parked, we do have it engaged so we don't slide right into the water. So we're taking big risks to get you guys some quality content. The shifter. This is something that my wife actually called me about in panic at a car wash because she couldn't figure it out. But it is very easy once you know how to do it. So to shift the vehicle, you're gonna squeeze the little button on the side and you pull it back, and now you are in drive. You can see that there, okay? To go into reverse, you'll squeeze the lever and bring it all the way forward. Puts you in reverse, and you can see the beautiful view behind us and your high definition cameras, your 360 view as well. How do you go into neutral? So to go into neutral, I'm gonna show you guys, all right? So you're gonna wanna click it, and then you're gonna wanna go back a half measure. So do not slam it all the way back, and do not jam it all the way forward. You wanna just slightly nudge it back, and that puts you right into neutral. I'm gonna demonstrate it again. So I'm gonna go to drive, and I'm gonna go into neutral now, moving it forward just a half measure. So you're gonna bring it slightly forward, right there, and there you have it, you're in neutral. Most car washes, you gotta put the car in neutral and take your foot off the brake. So this is really, really something that you wanna learn to do, because the last thing you wanna do is get in that car wash line and not know how to do this. Park, right at the top of the actual shifter, you push that, it puts you in park, okay? Your wireless charging pad is right there to your right. I had it charging my AirPods. Once you set a device there that supports wireless charging, the actual indicator light will pop up in the top right corner, as it just did now, and then it also pops up on your AirPods that is charging as well, okay? If you need to bring up your camera for any reason, maybe you're pulling forward into a parking space and you want to get a more responsive reaction to the camera, you don't want to wait till you get closer, you want to know right away how much space you have, you can just hit the camera button there. And like this instance, you can see as I adjust my wheel, I can see the direction that I'm headed. And as I begin to pull forward, I can then maneuver through the vehicles ahead of us and feel confident about it, okay? We're gonna slightly go up now. We're gonna go up to the digital rear view monitor here. So right now we have it set on the mirror. So I can use the mirror now to see what's going on behind me. And that tells me right away that I left the actual rear wipers on. I can see that, so I'm gonna turn that off now, okay? So let's say you have someone taller, just like in this instance, sitting in the center seat where you can't really see behind you. You need that increased visibility. If so equipped with the vision package, you can simply pull this stock down, and now you've got a full view of everything going on behind you. You can see the Southwest Florida fishermen, looks like a husband and a wife out there fishing, enjoying some time together. And you can see the boat behind us there as well. Very common scenery for here in this area. We're gonna go a little bit higher now. We're gonna go to the roof, and you can see right there we've got a couple more adjustments. You've got your SOS button, which I hope you never have to use, but in the event you're in a collision, maybe it's not a major collision, but you feel unsafe, you need some assistance, you can push this. You also have access to a distress signal from your INFINITI app. So right from that app, if you need roadside assistance, you can, from your INFINITI app as well, coordinate that, okay? You've got your left light, which is right here. I like to call them reading lights. You've got your right reading light. You've got all of your lights. And then there you have the entry lights. Entry lights, basically, when you open the door to the vehicle, all the lights come on, unless you have this shut off. Not sure why you'd want to enter a vehicle that was not lit, but in the instance you prefer it that way, you can disengage this, okay? You do have a panoramic roof in this vehicle. If you want to open just the screen, you push this lever, it'll open up to its halfway point, and then you'll push it again to fully open it, okay? If you want to actually open the roof and allow air to enter the vehicle, that's when you push this one back, okay? So this is going to be just for the screen for lighting, and this is going to be the actual roof itself to open and allow airflow to enter. That sums up this video. Hopefully this has helped you, and I changed my mind. You're right back with me. We missed something. We did not cover the massaging seats. You can't see it from this angle. So what I'm gonna do, rather than showcasing the button on the side of the seat, I'm gonna show you how to reach it from here, okay? So your massaging seats, if the vehicle is equipped, you're gonna hit the right arrow. You're gonna hit it one more time, and and you're gonna arrive to massage settings. You'll push that and you're gonna hit on. Now I've got it set at relaxing right now. You can adjust this, and you can also go to lumbar, which is my favorite. That combined with the heated seat is perfection, okay? You can also set this to refreshing as well. So driver and passenger have their own controls and settings that they can save to the massage to cater it to their preferences. Now we're done, I promise. Thank you so much for sitting through this video. I really wanted to do this video because I do this with every client when they purchase a new vehicle from me. But sometimes maybe you just spent too much time at the dealership. Maybe at that time when you've purchased the vehicle, you don't want to sit through it and you never get back to the dealership to really be able to review the car this way with your salesman and know exactly what it's capable of. So I felt like this was a very necessary video, and I think a lot of my personal clients as well, you know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road after they've had their vehicle and they want to kind of sharpen their skills on different things that the car can do, this is the video to watch. So from everybody that's purchased a vehicle from me or any other car dealerships that want to use this video to help their clients, it's definitely something that's necessary. But thank you guys, all of you, so much for liking and subscribing to the channel and following us. It is a big deal. It means a lot to us. It means a lot to me. And I hope this content helps everybody out. Have a great day.